Hi there, music fans, and welcome to another one of my polls, another top 10. And today I'd like to give you my top 10 from probably one of the greatest songwriters of all time, if not the greatest songwriter of all time. It's definitely my favorite songwriter of all time. Um, so Paul McCartney. Absolutely love Paul McCartney. I've loved the Beatles since I was a little kid, and I still love the Beatles today. But particularly love Paul's solo career and his stuff with Wings and all. So I thought I'd give you my top 10. I only got to see Paul once, and it was 20 years ago this month. I seen him on the 27th of May 2003, and the Back to the World tour, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was everything I dreamed it would be, and yeah, great memories of that concert. I'd love to see him again sometime, but who knows? But I thought I'd give you my top 10 favorite Paul McCartney solo material, which I'm including Wing stuff in that as well because I just see them all as one. Anyway, so number 10, I have it comes from a Wings album actually. It comes from I think the last Wings album, Back to the Egg, and it's Getting Closer. Absolutely fantastic rock track. I absolutely love it. I don't know whether Paul has sang that live in the last few years. I'm not sure, but it's just a fantastic track. Yeah, Getting Closer. And number 9 is beautiful love song he wrote for Linda, his wife at the time. My Love, absolutely love it, and I love that Henry McCulloch guitar solo in the middle. Just a beautiful song. Yeah, just a fantastic love song. My Love. Number 8 is a song. It's kind of I feel like it's a hidden gem, although it's gotten a new lease of life because Paul is actually recording or performing this in concert over the last few years, and he performed it at Glastonbury last year, and it's a track called Letting Go. Absolutely fantastic guitar track. Just love it, Letting Go. I think it came from the Phoenix and Mars album, which was probably one of the best Wings albums, in my opinion. Number 7 comes from I think my favorite Paul McCartney album, Ram, and it's Backseat of My Car, which I absolutely love. Beautiful song, just a great track. Paul's voice at the end, in particular, is just amazing. Love that track. And I'll go back to this album because this album was the first Paul McCartney album I ever owned. First one I ever bought myself. There was a couple of Paul McCartney albums in my dad's collection and Beatles and stuff, but this was the first album I bought myself on cassette. Back in, I think probably around 87, 88. So I was only about 12, and the first single I ever bought, I have at number 6, and it's Once Upon a Long Ago, which I think is absolutely beautiful. I still love the track, still love hearing it. I think it's very underrated. It doesn't really get mentioned. He hasn't performed it in concert. I don't think ever. Which I'd love to hear him perform it live. It featured a fantastic violin solo by Nigel Kennedy, and it's just a stunning song. Once Upon a Long Ago. Another talking about overrated songs. Number 5 for me, because I grew up in the 80s. There's a couple of 80s tracks in there, including that one, Once Upon a Long Ago. But No More Lonely Nights, I think it's gotten very underrated over the years. Just a fantastic track. And again, I'd love to see Paul perform it live. I don't think he's ever performed that one live either, which is a pity. Absolutely love the song. No More Lonely Nights came from the Broad Street movie from the 80s as well. It was a great movie, but there was some great tracks in it. That's definitely one of them. No More Lonely Nights. Number 4 is probably a track that not a lot of people would have in their top 10 again. But as I said before, it's all down to taste, and it's all down. And I always base these top tens on the songs that I listen to the most and get the most joy out of hearing. And this next track comes from this album, which is one of my favorite Paul McCartney albums, Flaming Pie, and it's a track called "Beautiful Night." What a track! just a beautiful song. I believe he actually wrote most of the track back in about 1986, and it was about 10 years later, I think after the Beatles anthology, around 95, 96, he went back into the studio and kind of rewrote the whole track with the same chorus and everything. And it's just a beautiful song. Especially the chorus. The chorus just it's just a goosebumps chorus, just absolutely fantastic. Love Beautiful Night. Yeah, another one he doesn't perform live. But this next track is one that he didn't perform live for years and years and years, and again performed at Glastonbury last year, performing on tour now, and it's Junior's Farm. Absolutely love it. Another underrated Paul McCartney track, in my opinion. It was released as a single. I don't know how high it got as a single, but I absolutely love Junior's Farm. Number two is the title song from probably his most successful album, Band on the Run. So, Band on the Run, the track I absolutely love. It's I still love hearing it on the radio. I play it all the time on Spotify and on CD. Absolutely love it. I can't get enough of Band on the Run. I absolutely love it from start to finish. So number one for me, and it's just my favourites. As I say, we all hear music different, and yeah, there's a couple of surprises in that top 10. I'm sure not a lot of Paul McCartney fans would have had some of them tracks, especially Once Upon a Long Ago. I don't know whether anybody would have that in their top 10, but again, it's just my favourite, so who cares? But number one for me, I think a lot of Paul McCartney fans would have this as their favourite Paul McCartney song. I could be wrong, I don't know, but it's Maybe I'm Amazed. Just an absolutely beautiful song. I think it's still the best Paul McCartney song. I think it's even up there with anything he wrote with the Beatles as well. Yeah, just love Maybe I'm Amazed. Yeah, so that's my top 10, and it was just for fun. And so I'll give you them real quick again. Number 10 was Getting Closer. Number 9 was My Love. Number 8 was Letting Go. Number 7, Backseat of My Car. Number 6, Once Upon a Long Ago. Number 5, No More Lonely Nights. Number 4, Beautiful Night. Number 3, Junior's Farm. Number 2, Band on the Run. And number 1, Maybe I'm Amazed. Yeah, so that's just my top 10. There's loads that I left out. Some absolute classics I left out. One of the first songs I ever learned on guitar was Mulligan Tire, so I still have a kind of fondness for that. I love Bluebird as well from the Band on the Run album. I love some of the rock stuff he did, like Hi Hi Hi, Hell on Wheels. Just fantastic tracks. Some of them love songs from the 80s and 90s, like So Bad. I absolutely love that. Some Days as well from the Flaming Pie album, which I mentioned as well. Yeah, just some absolutely gems that I left out. And yeah, but the Paul McCartney has such a long and successful career, and he's written some amount of absolute fantastic crackers. It's hard to just pick a top 10, but at the moment, they are my top 10. But as I say, like with most of these polls, they could change. I could do this list in another 2 3 years, and I'd have totally different tunes. I'd still say Maybe I'm Amazed be number one, but I think any of the other tracks might not make it into the top 10. So it's just for fun, and I see a lot of people do it on YouTube, their favorite Paul McCartney and their favorite Beatles song. So I thought I'd join in. So there you go. And if you have any comments, leave them in the section below. If not, thank you and bye.